there, Mrs. Cantrell again, and I'm here to talk about one of my favorite subjects, drawing animals. I love animals. I'm going to break it down into a couple different ways to draw animals for you today. The first thing I want to talk about are these how to draw books. I have some how to draw instructions that I'm posting on the slides presentation for you. If you would like to work from these to draw your animal, you're more than welcome to. I just want you to observe that even though we're drawing animals, the animal drawings still follow the same rules of observational drawing as if we were drawing a still life of glass bottles or if we were drawing an inanimate skull. It still follows the same basic principles, where all of these very detailed shapes can be simplified into these very geometric shapes. So I know sometimes you may have looked at instructions like this before and thought, there's no way that something like this is going to turn into something like this. But if you take the time to really work through each of these steps, you will end up with a very detailed drawing, just like you see here at the end. So I'm going to do a quick time lapse of me following these instructions. You'll notice when I do this that I draw very lightly. The instructions are sort of drawn in this brownish color, and then the final drawing is done in this very dark black. So that's sort of your hint. Draw these lines very lightly because they are your guiding lines. And then when you get to these more detailed areas, then you can start to press a little harder. That way, if you want to erase some of these little guidelines later on, you can. Alright, so I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty proud with how this turned out. So these how to draw instructions are great ways to help you to break these really complex figures into more simple shapes that eventually lead up to that really complex figure. So this book, in case you're wondering, is called I Can Draw by Terry Longhurst. I believe I actually came by this secondhand. You can often find how to draw books at thrift shops, garage sales, things like that. So I highly recommend that if you are into drawing, pick up some that are interesting to you. All right, so my next task is to draw from a photograph that doesn't already have those shapes broken down for me. So if you are wanting something more challenging than following the how to draw instructions, this is the route that I would encourage you to take for your animal drawing practice. Go onto the internet, find a picture of an animal that you like, or bug if you want to, something that has some complexity to it. And I would encourage you to find an animal that is in its entirety and not just like zoomed in on the head or something. So I decided to go with an iguana. I think lizards are pretty cool in general, especially for drawing. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of how I'm going to go about doing this, and then I will again show you a time lapse of how I work from the photograph to complete my drawing. So just like I did with the cow skull drawing, I'm going to break this down into some very simple shapes. So I think I'm just kind of going to section it off. So there's basically like a triangle here. a parallelogram here. And then I'll probably break this leg down into another triangle. And then I'm going to break the tail up into some little segments just to make sure that I get it going in the right direction. I'll have to treat this arm like a couple of little ovals overlapping each other. This foot is sort of like another triangle. Got little phalanges coming off here. So those are some of the shapes that I'm going to be starting with, and then I'll be breaking it down from there, just using those observational drawing skills.